Welcome. Thank you all for being here. Let me fix this layout and we will get started. I will be having it's going to be a fixed panel. So if you would like to request to boost the live, I appreciate that. Otherwise, I will not be bringing up many people. So we will get started. Inshallah. Let me invite all of our guests here today. If you see, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam to the barakatuh. How's everything? My
Alhamdulillah,
apologies.
brother.
I should have had
Alhamdulillah.
fan and stuff in my hand. Is it lit enough? How does it look? Is it
Hello,
well? Is
hello.
Looks
it
great.
good?
Looks great. Salam, salam. The last
Walaikum salam. How y'all
turtle.
doing?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Just give me a second, everyone, so I can just bring up the rest of those panelists. We are waiting on one more, and then we will go from there. Wow, there's a lot of people here. All right. Waiting on one more guest, but we'll get started, inshallah. And Salam, salam, brother Zulqarnain Nantembu. Welcome to the TikTok Live. We are very honored to have you here with us today. We have our brother Professor Butch Ware on the panel, as well as our brother the last turtle. He is from Instagram. If you guys don't follow him, please make sure you follow him. And then we have our sisters Didi and Rima, our Palestinian sisters. And we are waiting on one more guest, inshallah. Once he comes, we will bring him up. Thank you so much, brother, for being here today. I want to kind of first start out, and then we'll open the panel. It'll be back and forth between me and the panelists. First off, Super Bowl MVP, and you are a hero. Not all heroes wear capes. Please, if you could first start off by telling us about yourself. Who is Zulqarnain?
Qarnain. This Qarnain, alhamdulillah, named after the Qarnain in the Quran, Surah Al-Kahf, verse 83. I'm from New Orleans. I've always, just been an entrepreneur my whole life. And then even as a child, I used to sell like oils and incense and stuff when I was young. And then I started selling clothes as I got later on in high school. Then I just did different businesses. And I was also in the entertainment industry for a while, like in the music industry. But alhamdulillah, I left that for the sake and pleasure of Allah. But I still work in media, and like I did films and documentaries and whatnot. So like I just have a YouTube channel called Open Book Platform. I've done a lot in the past, but I can go through it. But like I had businesses, and I'm from New Orleans, so I had businesses in New Orleans, whether clothing stores downtown or I had phone stores where I would sell like mobile stores and all that. Walaikum salam, rahmatullahi barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, I'm doing a TikTok live right now. Check it out. Taznemo. If you get a chance. Your children playing soccer over here too? Okay, alhamdulillah. I'm gonna holler at you.
W, critical.
Huh?
W.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, so basically, in alhamdulillah, when I was 23, I accepted Islam. Just from going through life challenges. And
MashaAllah.
I was praying to God before I was calling God Allah by his rightful name. I used to pray to God and ask for guidance and understanding. And I was praying to get my life better. Like I felt I had I wasn't I was supposed to be living. I wasn't living a life that my mama would be pleased with me as. So, I just used to pray to like what I'm supposed to do. What's my purpose? Well, give me some understanding. Alhamdulillah. I was
Alhamdulillah.
asking for Allah's mercy. I was asking for God's guidance. And so I started trying to refine and purify myself, staying away from things that I learned later were haram, but just no drinking alcohol, no smoking, none of this. So I was a young man, like I was like 21, 22 at the time. And then for like a year and a half, I was doing that, just praying in the morning, praying in the evening, but I was selling merchandise. I had a store, like I said, at the time I used to sell shoes and clothes, and then I found out the shoes I was selling. And I'm compacting the story. I'll send you a file. That's another thing I need to do. Any good animator, send me one because I recorded a thorough story of my before any of this transition or revert to Islam. and I want to get a animated or like make a like an animated cartoon to it because it took some travel. So long story short, I took a trip to Turkey, Istanbul, looking for business, and I found the products I was looking for from the manufacturer. Then I also found Islam, which was the greater gift. I took my
Oh,
Shahada,
mashallah.
Sultanah Jami, the Blue Mosque. So that's how I became a
Oh,
Muslim.
mashallah. It was at the Blue
Family.
Mosque.
Yeah, yeah, Blue Miles. And then went from there. So, I was doing entertainment. I stopped, like I said, I was rapping for a while, stopped rapping, then I became executive, putting other people out, and then stopped doing that. But the whole time I was doing documentaries and films. And I did a documentary about the violence in New Orleans and what we could do to stop that. And I did a news special with one of the local news people that kind of went viral, just talking about quelling the crime because, New Orleans had a very volatile, even though it's a beautiful city with beautiful, rich culture and the sweetest people, it has a homicide problem just from impoverishment and miseducation. So, yeah, so I just was always in business and traveled and whatnot. And
All
like
right.
I said, I started the open book platform to just highlight people, artists, influencers, athletes, transitions to their spiritual growth in Islam.
MashaAllah, brother. MashaAllah. That's such an amazing story. We are so happy to have you as our brother in Islam. I wanted to go to my next question, and then I wanted to open the floor to Professor Butchware because I know he also has limited time. What prompted you to do this iconic gesture, and what were the repercussions, if any, that you faced for, and have you received any backlash for it from what you did at the Super Bowl?
All right, I'm gonna answer that question in 12 seconds. Y'all can go play right here. Go get your brother. Get your brother. Why? Get your brother, because I'm doing the interview. Get your brother, and you can play right there. Uh, how you doing?
Do you know if the church is open?
No, I don't. No. Um, can you repeat that question one more time? I got the gist of it. Just repeat it. It was like a two-part, three-part question, right?
Yeah, so what prompted you to do this iconic gesture, and what were the repercussions, if any, that you faced for it, and did you receive any backlash for it?
Um, my inspiration, my sister-in-law sent me a link to be a part of the halftime. That's my phone, boss. Yeah. To be a part of the halftime show because I'm from New Orleans, but I live in South Florida. But to be a part of the halftime show that with Kendrick Lamar, and I filled it out. I didn't just fill it out, just curious to see what it was about. And like I said, I thought I would be able to get into the Super Bowl for free with it. So I filled it out, and I was selected. And I didn't know the logistics of how serious the practice is and all the preparation that it took to be a part of the show, which I found out shortly after. But once got selected. So it was like a 2 week process. I got selected, and then we did the practice. We had 2 weeks before the Super Bowl to practice and get everything together. Um, so I came to New Orleans. We started practicing, and then I realized how tedious these practices were, and I had a lot going on with myself, with family, and different businesses and whatnot. It was like 8 hour days, 4 days a week, and I was away from home, and I was like, okay, what is my real like my third full practice? Like, God, why am I here? Because we as Muslims, we know every step is ordered and everything has a purpose. So I knew I wasn't just there to put a light tube down on the floor of the Super Bowl. Of the Superdome on the turf. So, and then it got kind of made clear to me that once we got started practicing in the Superdome, that I have an opportunity on the biggest stage, the biggest platform, to bring awareness to the sufferings that's going on in Gaza. Because as we know, Gaza's been in Gaza, the atrocity, the genocide, the calamity, the oppression that's been inflicted on the Palestinian people, especially the Gazan people, North, South Gaza, all that has been going on for a while. Same thing in Sudan. It's been going on for a while. So, yes, you can go. Yeah. That's my sons. We just left soccer practice. But and I believe that God put me there to you do what I could. So at first, before I even got to the flag part, I was just I was gonna, how football players we have in the little patches under their eyes, the little black strips. Y'all know that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why can I see what do people can people comment in here? Is like it's a locked in moderator thing. Like people that's
No, they
watching,
are.
they
Yeah.
can't type in nothing.
Yep, they
Yeah.
are.
There's.
And actually, oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry. Just let him know about the gifting. So if you saw the lion that came in
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff,
no, I
Yeah.
ain't
He
tripping.
knows.
Yeah, I ain't tripping.
Yeah.
I'm
He
just talking
knows.
about like how
got it.
people type and ask questions. But okay, wait, the little thing. So I was gonna write free Gaza, like free and then Gaza right there. Well, I did
Mm.
that, but this was before the flag and like try to catch a camera, you know. But then as I saw how elaborate it was and how thorough the practices was, and it wasn't guaranteed that that was going to even get aired or on camera. Then I found out they had like a 2 or 3 second delay and all type of stuff. And then so we started seeing the practice with Kendrick, and then Kendrick came. Then I really got to see, oh, this is what the show is. So in watching the show, seeing how it's set up, because we didn't know that the first week, we only knew that the second week, and um he had, as you've seen in the show, he had flags and symbolism in his thing. So he had the dancers, black male dancers, which that was all purposeful, formulate into American flag. Well, I don't know if they were all black, but black dancers formulate into the American flag. They weren't male, all male. I'm sorry. Black dancers formulate into the American flag, and then also, so I was like, oh, you know what? I need to figure. No, that's what happened too. The car was on the stage too, and I was just assigned to that, but I was supposed to stand on the steps at the bottom. But my partner, a dude that I knew, that was also participating in it, he was saying, "Boy, if I was on that side, I'd jump on that car and start dancing." You know what I'm saying? Just to try to get recognized by the camera. That's what he wanted to do. But they had us dressed to where it's not. You were just really background. So I was like, when he said that, I was like, oh, you know what? I need to do that. So I started. I was able to order the flags. They came on time. Shout out to Jeff Bezos and that next day shipping. So so they came on time, and I just had it in my plan. Also when I looked at the flags too, because I wanted to do Sudan and Palestine, but then along the way, so many confirmations came that this is like I really had no choice. You know what I'm saying? It was either I would, how certain times when you don't do something, you feel disappointed in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I should have did this, or I wish I could have did this over. So I didn't want that to happen. So I really just had to put myself in the mental space. But either, so when I saw the Sudanese flag and I saw the Palestinian flag, I realized that they both had a black bar. And then by Allah's decree, or some would say serendipity, the black bar for the Sudanese, the black stripe for the Sudanese flag was at the bottom, and at the top for the Palestinian flag. So it worked perfectly where it's not so bulky in my pocket or so big. I got the 2x3 where it's not, because most of the flags be 3x5 or bigger, 3 feet by 5 feet or bigger. So alhamdulillah, I was able to get like the last 2x3 Sudanese flag or something like that. It just worked out. So I got them sewn together, and 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 even I just tried to make it as clear as possible. What I'm saying, I was like, let's write the country's name on the flag so it can be clear what is what, so that we leave nothing to chance, or nothing to misinterpretation. So we try to make a clear, concise message. So and then I put the love for the Sudanese, like love for and empathy for what's going on in their suffering, and the solidarity fist, meaning God, I really want to put Gaza strong, basically like having that resilience of the Gazan people, and that's what that fist represented. That was in that part of the flag. So we put it together, and then it was just waiting till Sunday to be able to execute it. And I just felt like if I did my part, Allah would take care of the rest. Hello.
MashaAllah. Yes. Do you hear me? Okay. I want to open the panel.
In repercussion, I didn't. Alhamdulillah, I was a part of the cast. I did get detained. I was not arrested. I pray there's no future repercussions. But shout out to even the people that tackled me. It was like a light tackle. Really, dude just grabbed me and put me down. I cooperated. They were very polite, which was surprising.
Oh, okay.
They weren't yelling. They weren't, oh, what you doing? Oh, you crazy. They was like, okay, we got you. Look, put your legs here. We about to stand you up. Let's move. They had a tough time moving me to the side, but then when I got to the side, it was just giving polite instructions to stand up. And they weren't, they weren't yelling. They weren't aggressive. They weren't whatever. So I don't know who they was. They was in suits, so they could have been FBI. I don't know who they was. then the state troopers handcuffed me and brought me to the detaining place that was in the dome. So I never went to a jail, just a little holding cell. And that's where the local police were because it was their jurisdiction. And they were cool. They was like, NFL people, reps came down there, was like, yeah, we got, we want to, Secret Service gonna come talk to them. Yeah, that was being thrown around. They actually came, but alhamdulillah, they didn't talk to me. They definitely came down there. And then they were like, they asked him what happened. It was like, oh, he was on the field, ran on the field, he put a flag out. He was like, okay, well, was he with y'all? Did he have credentials and all that? Like, yeah, like, well, he wasn't trespassing, so there was nothing praise be to Allah for them to charge me. So they released me after about 30 minutes. And alhamdulillah, I pray I don't have to talk to Secret Service, but they didn't come talk to me right there. The NFL was irate, and they were yelling, not yelling. In a few, they were asking me. Not asking me. They didn't nobody talk to me. The halftime people didn't talk to me. The NFL people didn't talk to me, but they were telling the police, man, we got to charge them with something. And the police, shout out to New Orleans PD, they were like, man, we're not about to make up no charge. The lady was like, we're not about to make up nothing to charge them. We ain't do nothing. Yeah, and then he's like, well, we're gonna get the lawyers to come down and talk to you guys. He said, tell them, come on. I'm gonna tell them the same thing too. So shout out to NOPD for keeping it 100 and being understanding. And so, alhamdulillah, Allah made it easy. Allah is the best of planners. Like, Allah made it easy. You feel me?
Absolutely. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. And if I'm not mistaken, you got banned from all NFL stadiums and
That's
all
what they say, but
NFL.
I ain't get a letter from Roger Goodell or nobody yet. I didn't get no official letterhead from nobody at the NFL. So that could be all hearsay. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
Hey, you'll never know until you
We
try.
can try.
We'll see what
We ain't tripping on that. That's to appease the public. Come on, man. We
of
all know if I
course.
want to go, anybody want to go to a game, they not checking no IDs. You walking in 70,000 people. But if so, look, in 3 years I'll get Jay Z to remove it. Get Roger Dale to remove the ban or something. God willing.
Inshallah, inshallah. Well, I'm gonna give a chance for Professor Butchware here with us to also go ahead and ask any questions or anything that he would also like to share. So go ahead, Professor Butchware. Assalamu alaikum and welcome.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa ta'ala barakatuh. It's great to be back with you. Tazneemo joined you when I was running for vice president with the Green Party. Big support of what you're doing. And before I say anything else, I just wanted to salute my Black Muslim brother Zul Qarnain for standing up. You know what I'm saying? When I accepted the invitation to run as the VP, it was largely because I hoped that through the presidential campaign, we would be able to lift the knife off of our brothers and sisters' necks in Palestine, that we would be able to challenge the American empire that's exploiting our people in Sudan. And I want to tell you the post that I made about you on my Instagram, feed, modest feed, like 150K followers. But what I said in that space is that Black Muslims have always been the truth tellers of this place. And that what you did was you stood up and you literally carried the flag for us. You held the standard for us the same way that Malcolm held the standard for us, the same way that Muhammad Ali held the standard for us, and the same way that all of those enslaved African Muslims that led so many rebellions that the Spanish crown tried to stop importing Muslims into the New World because we were
I
too
heard
damn
about that. Yeah,
rebellious.
that the king. I learned about that a few years ago. I thought it was Portuguese or something, but I heard that the king was like, no Muslim can come past this water to go to America.
Correct. So the question that I had two questions. I'll ask the first one, and then hopefully I'll have time for a second question as well. Were you thinking about the kind of historic legacy? And learning that you're a convert. I converted to Islam when I was 15 after reading the autobiography of Malcolm X cover to cover in one night. I wanted to be like Malcolm. I still want to be like
Oh, you
Malcolm. You know what I'm
intelligent. You an
saying?
intelligent brother. You
Come on, man. Listen,
was a young black Socrates. You said you read it in one night. Good Lord.
Black, look, black nerds of the world unite. That's all I'll say. But let me ask you, like, did you reflect on the historic significance of what you were doing, of the footsteps that were in, or have you reflected about that after the fact?
Before, not at all. I wasn't. I didn't. I mean, I was looking at it through a small lens, so I didn't know how it was gonna blow up, how it happened. I didn't know the windfall that happened that has us here now. was going to take place. I just was really in the mind space of mentally making sure that I executed, didn't let myself talk myself out of doing it. You know how anxiety works. People, that's why I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell no family. I didn't want nobody to try to talk me out of it. I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to scare me into it, even make thoughts in my head of what could possibly happen, especially when you're dealing with a city that's hosting the biggest event right after a terroristic attack.
Yep.
So law enforcement agencies from all over the country are there in great abundance and on high alert. Then midweek, the president announced he's coming. So that's an extra layer of security. We were already, I already knew they had snipers there before. So then when we did dress rehearsal, like we knew, the people was, well, one guy that worked in production was like, yeah, the snipers are doing dress rehearsal too. Like he didn't just outcome tell me this. I think I asked him. And then, and then it was clear when Trump announced that they were going to have Secret Service and snipers for sure. So all these weird scenarios are playing your mind. Oh, what if they think it's a Hamas flag? What if they think you're a terrorist? Hair trigger, they already negate qualitative or whatever qualified immunity. Shoot first, ask questions last. You never know. What if they think you're trying to attack Kendrick? Anything. You never. So I had to block all of myself out there. I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm about to be a hero. None of that. Nah, that wasn't the motivation. Was like, don't disappoint. Don't blow this opportunity to do something that would, first off, benefit so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Inshallah, strengthen so many people's faith.
I mean,
You would earn the du'as of oppressed people over the world. That right there was
Allahu
priceless in
Akbar.
itself. That was the Powerball ticket. If I got half of Gaza making dua for me and their family over here making dua for me and people in Sudan making dua for me
Wow.
and people, that right there, that's what sold me on it. That was like, you can't,
MashaAllah.
even
Allahu
if
Akbar.
you get dropped dead,
Mm-hmm.
you're a martyr. Alhamdulillah, you good. And then I
Alhamdulillah.
trusted that my family would be taken care of. I didn't never intended it. I'm just saying that's a worst case scenario. So I had to plan for the worst and hope for the best. You feel what I'm saying? So, because you never know at the end of the day, and then you know how your imagination can run wild. And that's why I say Allah is so merciful, man. I could cry that out of all that, I didn't even get arrested. I would have never thought. That was the least I'm thinking I'm about to go to jail. I was willing to, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting in the cell like, okay, alhamdulillah, I'm glad. This is the first time I've ever been arrested and not tripping, not caring, happy that, not concerned. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe, Secret Service, FBI gonna come talk to me, make sure, start doing investigative. I'm concerned about they start looking into all type of stuff, blah, blah, blah. So, but for none of that to happen, Allah's the best of plan. I was so grateful. So I don't want like keep rambling, but I was trying to the point you asked me
No,
was I
the
thinking about
question,
them?
yeah.
No, I wasn't thinking. I just wanted to execute. I prayed for the courage to commit to it and get it done. I just knew if I did my part, Allah would do the rest. Subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Alhamdulillah. And Sister Tasneem, do I have just a chance to ask one quick
Yes,
follow-up question?
absolutely. Yes, go
So,
ahead, brother.
in addition to running as the VP with the Green Party, currently running for governor in the state of California, trying to bring, liberation agenda, keep it on the minds of the people. But I'm also a history professor by day, and I happen to be teaching a hip hop history class this quarter. So today in my class, we talked about the overall performance and your role within it. A lot of the debate online has been about whether this was a revolutionary performance by Kendrick Lamar, since he cited revolution in his performance. He said the revolution will be televised. You picked the right
All
time.
that, not to cut you off, but all those type of things were confirmations that I needed to do what I had to do.
So that was what I was going to ask you was the conclusion that my class reached, and I'll just cut to the chase, was that they weren't sure that this was a revolutionary performance by K Dot, maybe for the culture, but not politically. But do you feel like you were able to bring a revolutionary contribution? Because that was my argument. My
I mean,
argument was that what was truly revolutionary was the courage to stand up and hold that flag in this moment and take whatever comes with it.
well, and that's by Allah's design. Like I said, everybody. I knew if I was going to do my part, Allah was going to make sure everybody else do their part. The cameraman was going to do their part. The security ignoring me for 5 minutes or however long I was up there, was going to do their part. Kendrick was going to do his part to set the tone, even though, of course, he didn't know that I was coming out with a guys in a Sudan flag. You know, he had to be as commercially revolutionary as the NFL allowed him to be. So he made it, presented that. But all that was set the tone to one, like I said, make it a surety to me in my heart that I was supposed to do that, and then really accent, enrich, really blow up. I mean, add to what the component that I put. So it made it like it was another ingredient to make it all a complete cake, a complete thing. Even with Uncle Sam being Black Sam Jackson, all those played a part to when I did my part. It elevates it, amplifies it even more. Because if it wouldn't have hit the same if I would have did it at a Taylor Swift performance. You feel what the tone was set for that to be the flags being raised and being shown to the world, to even the President Trump being there. All that amplified everything. And that's what I believe also made play a part, of course, to why it was the most watched Super Bowl. Not just because of Kendrick Lamar, because of the Drake beef. Is he going to sing the song? Not like us. President Trump is coming. People be irrational. President Trump going to be a part of the halftime show? Is he going to come on against people will think anything, and they tune in to see what's going on. And Allah made it that way. 1 second. Allah made this, my son Khalil. Allah made it
Allahu
that way
Akbar.
Oh, mashallah.
for everybody to see that. And it made the flags made live TV, alhamdulillah, even with the delay. Like people were
Yep.
showing screen grabs. And if you know the flag, if you're a Palestinian, a Muslim, or anybody, a Sudanese, you know the flag, you see it. You know, it might not be recognizable to somebody that doesn't know, but now they know. Now when they watch it again and watch the performance again, they see the flag running across behind Kendrick. They see it in the back when Serena Crip walk, and they see it in all of the aerial shots. You know what I'm saying? And then the internet did what the internet gonna do. So that made it super revolutionary. You know what I'm saying? Before it might have been patty cake revolutionary, a commercial revolutionary, a mainstream, a pop revolutionary. You know what I'm saying? That's what whole Drake was argument was, that you want to be rapping like you trying to free the slaves, all that type of stuff. Like, but you can only do so much. So of course that would have never got past NFL or Rock
Not in
Nation.
not in a million years.
Approval.
Not in a million years.
But the aesthetic that he set the tone for the flags being shown to be
Yep.
amplified and truly make it a revolutionary performance,
Well,
unbeknownst to him.
Allah is the best of planners, you know, in the Shayateen plot, but Allah is the best of planners. And, you know, thank you for having the courage, you know, to move your fears and doubts out of the way and allow yourself to be used as an instrument in the hands of the merciful to bring a message of liberation for our brothers and sisters. Wallahi, it's been an honor to talk to you, Akhi, you know, and look forward, inshallah, to connecting in the future. I got peoples down in New Orleans. So inshallah, look forward to connecting sooner rather than later. And I'm
Yes,
gonna
sir.
recede back into the background and listen for a little bit longer. I got to log off in a minute because I actually have another call that I have to be on. But it's been an honor spending time and space with you.
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Professor Butch Ware. And I just wanted to let you know, Brother Zulkarnain, it's very, subhanAllah, revolutionary that I don't know if you know, Macklemore has his new music video out, and it starts with your video clip from the Super Bowl. So make sure you do check that out. One of the first clip of the music video is yours with waving the flag. So that's absolutely amazing. Make sure you guys check that out. We'll go next to our brother, the last turtle. If you guys do not follow him, please make sure you follow him on Instagram. He is absolutely amazing. He is our Palestinian brother. Welcome, Turtle Man.
Hello everyone. Can you hear me? This is my first TikTok actually.
We can.
Okay,
Welcome.
sweet. So, like Zulkarnain, I don't even know how to start, man. Like, honestly, you made us so proud as Palestinians. It's very important to see kind of any sort of representation, even if it's our flag. I mean, our flag is our soul. Our flag is our symbol. Seeing that in the Super Bowl, and just to let you know, it wasn't even just the most watched Super Bowl. It's the most watched broadcast in U.S. television history. Like this is the most watched thing in US history. Before this, it was the one from the year before, it was 2024, and before that, it was the 1969 Apollo landing. But you have been broadcasted on the most watched broadcast in US television history. Like this impact is absolutely phenomenal, man. So thank you, shukran. Like subhanallah, this message, the way you described it too, it really felt like you had a calling. You wanted to grab those flags. Everything just kind of worked out. I really just want to thank you, man. I was looking into the impact of what you caused. I saw that AP has already written an article, like, why did this guy wave those flags? What's happening there? This is the exact impact that, you know, we all pray for. And the fact that you weren't thrown in prison was beyond what anyone expected. Like, I guess when we watched it, we were all like, man, this guy's gonna get into some trouble. And then the next day we were like, holy crap, he's still with us. This guy made it. So, you know, just I can't thank you enough. And just from my personal opinion of when I watched it, I was just like, you know, kind of had like my hands on my face. I was like, oh, they're about to tackle him. They're about to tackle him. You kept going for like a good 30 seconds, man. Like that was
I was on the call. I was on the call. I got on the call and not like us. I started from the hood and ended up on the trunk. Like I was saying, a lot of the videos started when I was on the trunk. I was started on the hood.
How long? My first question is that.
Not like us. We came out there not like us when they say, I forgot the lyrics, but then we paused, everybody freeze. Then I got on the top. Then I moved to the trunk.
How long? So my question: how long? Do you know how long you were up for? I mean, it probably felt longer. But...
Ghost.
Yeah, it felt long. You know, time is relative, but at least. We got in. Not like us, in the middle of not like us. I was there. I was on the stage before the wop part.
Right.
So if you go watch the rebroadcast, wop. I was on the car at that part on the hood, and then I got tackled right before the last verse of Turn the TV Off.
Wow. So that's damn. I mean, so impressive. I bet the security were like, "Man, this is kind of cool."
No, because they're thinking I'm part of the show. The only reason they really kind of ran after me is when I got on the field, and then they saw me running on the field. They might have thought I was with the other flag people, but when they saw the young lady that worked with the halftime show, that knew this ain't part of the show, we didn't do this in practice. When she ran and tried to grab, and of course they were on the radios. But they didn't know. I mean, it's all black people up there. I got a flag. Which one with the flag we tackling? I don't know. It's a bunch of flags. So
incredible.
You know what I'm saying? So probably by the time they got on the radio, and then they start looking around with the suits, and then one person saw me, and then the others followed suit. But I mean, it just took them a while. Alhamdulillah, it took them a while to decipher who they probably was on the radio talking about. Because I took the radio out of my ear. We all had little radios. And I took it out my ear.
Absolutely incredible. And my follow-up on that about the AP bit, I think someone even just wrote in the comments about, like, you know, maybe we also can't really trust them with their narrative, like, even if they talk about stuff sometimes.
I didn't read. Was it an AP article? Was it a social media post? What was it?
I think they wrote an article. I didn't read it either. I just saw on Twitter that, like, already seeing some impact. And someone just, you know, raised a good point that, like, even if they do that, we can't trust the content to be great. And it brings me to my next question, if you will, which is, in beyond like the flag, if there's anything that you think if there's any direction from your opinion that you would like to send people in their kind of learning about Palestine, from Gaza to the West Bank now, from Sudan, is there any message beyond the flag that you think you want to give to the people at all?
That truly Allah is greater than all of that. You know what I'm saying? People be fearing certain things and they think, oh, this is impossible. Nobody would ever in their million years think they would see a Palestinian or a Sudanese flag being hoisted and shown to everybody on a platform, elevated, then elevated again for everybody in the dome. We didn't even have to look on the ground and figure it out. No, it was separated from everything, like framed up, you know what I'm saying? And with the president standing right there. So things that people would think is impossible. If I'd have told you that last week, oh, never. But Allah makes the impossible possible with ease, with no issue. So that's what the message is. So when people are struggling and going through hard times, outside of just Palestine and Sudan, but just human beings, Muslims in general, going through their personal hardships, others who are suffering from these atrocities and the genocides and the sufferings, that know that Allah is with you, you know, and inshallah you will get reprieve and relief, and even if you don't get it in this life, you will taste it in paradise for sure. So
Absolutely.
never let go of the mercy of Allah, never let go of the rope of Allah, because Allah is all powerful. And I think that's what the message that was reassured in the hearts of the believers when he saw that.
Thank you so much. And Tasneem, can I just add one more point,
Yeah,
if that's okay?
go ahead, of course.
Amazing. Okay, so I think sometimes something I get asked quite a bit is like, when did we find our voice? And I think it's important to kind of like maybe talk about this to show why what you did was so impactful and why I'm so hopeful about what the outcomes are. So a lot of us, especially Palestinians, I'm sure Sudanese as well, even when our people are suffering, a lot of times we don't feel like people are listening. We don't feel like we have representation. We don't feel like people care. So with what you did, it really brought me back to what happened 3 years ago with the Sheikh Jarrah kind of movement, because before that, for us, a lot of us didn't have any voice. Our parents didn't even talk about what happened. I did most of my learning about my own history when that event happened. And I suspect with what you just did too, which is in many ways probably broadcast to more Americans, you're going to bring more voices from Sudan, from Palestine, from any oppressed people. Say, look, people want to see this. This got this reaction. And just to show you one example, which is me, like I've definitely been victim of kind of the occupation's plan of the old will die and the young will forget. Like my parents at the time really didn't speak about anything. And only when 3 years ago we got a voice, my dad started to open up. Just one example, I learned that my ninth great grandfather's grave is in Palestine, which was something, imagine, I wouldn't have found out unless the world was listening to us, unless the world was talking to us. And I found out that my grandparents were the first to have a public wedding in Palestine too. Like this remarkable historic moments that were just so suppressed by people who just wanted to live, who just wanted to move on because they felt that nobody cared. So just to kind of take all this and say, like, you spent 3 minutes in the most watched broadcast in US television history to show the flags of two places that are beyond oppressed right now, that are still going through some insane genocidal maniac kind of, Western, like horrible disasters. So this is a feat that I'm sure you will never forget. Subhanallah and mashallah to everything that you did there. And as I told you, my friends and family in Palestine are beyond grateful for it too, which is an important message for me to deliver to you, because I'm not sure you know the impact from even within the historic Palestine. So just to say thank you so much, my brother.
Well, thank you for sharing that with me, and ask your family, please, to keep me in their du'as. And alhamdulillah, it's definitely, it's definitely an honor. Like I said, I'm so grateful that Allah chose me to be able to be in that position. Because it strengthened my faith also, and that's why I'm sure it strengthens others. And just to strengthen our belief in Allah, and hopefully it increases our obedience to Allah.
Ameen. And well,
Ameen.
I'm sorry I'm not very active on TikTok, but I'll definitely try and keep in touch with you, my brother, on
Yes,
Instagram.
please make sure to
Open
follow
book
him.
platform. Yeah.
I'm the last turtle on Instagram, and thanks for keeping the
Yes.
shout outs going about me. And appreciate all of you for everything you do for us, everyone. Keep speaking about us. Keep waving that flag, especially the West Bank too now. 40,000 people ethnically cleansed in the last 3 weeks. Every post I post about the West Bank is getting suppressed, everyone. So please, Gaza, West Bank, Sudan, keep speaking, even when they're suppressing us. Do not let them silence us. The least we can do is make sure the world knows what they're doing to us. So thank you once again, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Turtle Man. Okay, we'll open up the question. We have about 15 minutes or so. Go ahead, D. Alhamdulillah, guys, we have over 500 people here, so keep sharing it out. And I really appreciate everyone being here. I just want to let you guys know that the Super Bowl, the one that was just the other day, becomes the most watched game in history, with Kendrick Lamar's halftime show bringing in a record-breaking 133.5 million viewers. So our brother Qarnain waving those flags, mashallah, was viewed by 133.5 million viewers. MashaAllah. Go ahead, Dee.
Salam, brother. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your bravery and your activism, because what you did in that those minutes that you did that action by waving the flags of oppressed people will literally go down. It's going to go down in history, man. You're a G, not going to lie. So, with that, I wanted to ask you what resonates with you in your life to draw you to the plight of the Palestinians. Like, what would happen in your life that resonates to it, that you were able to say, no, you know what, I'm going to put it all on the line, because you said it. You didn't tell your family members. You didn't tell anybody that you were going to do it. For the Gazans, for the Palestinians, and the Sudanese, what resonated with these people that made you say, I don't care, I'm doing this?
Well, alhamdulillah, first off, I'm from New Orleans. And New Orleans has a very large Palestinian community. You know, growing up, before I even knew about Islam, the corner store people, of course, they were Palestinian. You know what I'm saying? I remember one guy I used to always go talk with. His name was Ahmed, you know. And so I was young. I probably was 10, 11. But, you know, saying that to say, we were always familiar with Palestinians. I remember when I was young seeing Yasser Arafat wearing the black and white keffiyeh, but I didn't know it was a keffiyeh at the time. And I just was like, what that rag is he always wearing? You know what I'm saying? And so just so we were familiar with him, and maybe we just probably call him Arab at that time. I didn't know, you know, but I think maybe as I got older. So then saying that to say, I was always familiar with the Palestinians. They have a distinct look from different Arabs. Now, of course, now that I'm Muslim, I could definitely tell a Kuwaiti from Arabian, from somebody from Qatar, or from Oman, or from Palestine, or even from Syria. So the Palestinian, of course, has a distinct look as an Arab. So as I became Muslim, alhamdulillah, Allah blessed me, just like Zul Qarnain from the Quran. This is why I took the name, and it's my name legally, etc. I was blessed to visit Jerusalem. So when I was young, a young Muslim too, probably like 26, 27, I think I went. Like alhamdulillah, my first Umrah, I went. I did like the triple. I did Allah blessed me to hit the three holy cities. 1 second. So I went to Jerusalem, and I went to, of course, Mecca, Medina, but I went to Jerusalem, and this one they were doing, like Delta used to have, I think, direct flights to Tel Aviv. So I'm saying that to say, so when I was there, I just saw it was crazy. Like, man, I sat in Ben Gurion Airport or Ben Gurion Airport for like 5-6 hours, and I remember that stuck with me forever. Like, why am I sitting here for 5? And they don't tell you nothing. They just sit right there. And then so I'm finding out they running all type of information, making sure you're not wanted here, wanted there, whatever. So, you know, and then now let me tell you this. Don't take offense to it. Alhamdulillah. Just my synopsis from my trips. I've been there twice. There's a stark difference between the Palestinian in Palestine and the Palestinian American. And I mean, it is what it is. So, you know, a lot of people, you might hear, oh, they like this, they act like this, they in the community doing this, doing that. In Palestine, ain't none of that. Man, it was open arms, love, sweet, great people, man, showing me everything. So, and I went twice. But then the last time, I don't remember as vivid. The first time, I think I just stayed in Jerusalem. Alhamdulillah, Allah blessed me to pray at Al-Aqsa. But I remember the best hummus I had in my life. I was walking around Old Jerusalem. We had the things where they cook, the brick ovens and all that. So I'm walking around, but the second time, which was maybe about 6-7 years ago, I don't remember. Let me see. No, 2016 was the second time I went. And that one was like, that's when I tasted it. Like, I got the history. Somebody, when I was in Old Jerusalem, Muslim brother broke everything down, the whole history from like 1947. If that's the year, I don't forgive me if I'm pronouncing things wrong, but the Nakba and all that, he broke it down to me from the Jerusalem walls, told me how they destroyed Jerusalem, how they all the walls that they had there. He was showing me in certain buildings bullet holes from the fighting. And then I was with some other young Palestinian brothers and riding with them one time. And of course, I did the first trip they always make is when you get there, it's uncomfortable because you're sitting in the airport for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. So that's how I started it off. And I was mad. I had a chip on my shoulder behind that. You know what I'm saying? So, and then riding with them, we got stopped. like pulled me. They searching the car, checkpoints. I'm like, checkpoints? One second. So I went through the whole checkpoint experience. I went through the whole. No, you can have it. It's yours? It's your brother's. You can drive it. 1 second. I went through the whole checkpoint experience, getting pulled over, sitting in a little room that they have like on the highway, I guess police department on the highway. Then I remember. See, I'm telling you, I remember that this was 2016, but so much stuff stuck with me. Like one of the IDF officers that was going through all our luggage and everything. This on the street, like we ain't, you know what I'm saying? We ain't going through the airport. This is pulled over on the street. Come over here. I don't give a damn what you doing with your day. You trying to get whatever, and we running through everything. They're all under the cars, looking through all the luggage, and then I'm talking to the man. He from New York. Mm-hmm. Like, what you doing out here being a police? You from New York. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm like, what? And so that's when I learned about their quote unquote patriotism and that they leaving America to come be soldiers for the IDF and the police and do whatever they feel like they protecting their country, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, why would you know what I mean? So that was confused. So it let me open my eyes to like, oh, y'all really like, oh, y'all like, this is serious. Like they're leaving America to come be part of the military here to keep control of everything. And then also, of course, I learned that every citizen has to do 2 years in the army. Then I learned that Palestine ain't got no army. And I've learned, I'm seeing that the young boys can't even, you got to really have like freedom papers, travel papers. The young boys can't go to Juma, at Al-Aqsa. Like you can't go here, you can't leave there, you can't whatever. I thought Gaza was a million miles away because anytime if I asked about it, oh, you can't go there, you can't go wherever. So you know what I'm saying? I didn't even, I went to Jericho and whatever. So I'm learning all that amongst other things. And there was a fight where I think the day I was leaving, one of the Palestinians stabbed one of the police at Al-Aqsa and they killed him. Just so I was like, damn, this what y'all going through? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I thought America, I was like, this like the 60s, this like Jim Crow America. You know what I'm saying? The 50s, 60s in America. So that's why I really tasted that. And that stuck with me. They stuck with me how different the Palestinian and Palestine is to the Palestinian American, just in how they are acting and what they're going through and just their heart. They were very loving, compassionate, empathetic because they were going through a struggle. A struggle is going to bring you closer to Allah. and they were very open and well, open arms. And like I said, just moving around. Like I think I had to go through I had to walk to Jericho. I had to go through like I guess a checkpoint or whatever. But you're going through TSA. But I'm just going to another part of the city. So they checking you, they stamp you, and I'm getting through faster, of course, because I got an American passport. But I'm seeing what they're doing to the people with I don't know if they have a Palestinian passport, but I'm seeing how they making them wait for hours and saying, oh, you can't go, you could go. And like you can't go move around and go see your family in other parts of the country. So Allah blessed me to taste just at least see what they were going through as an apartheid state. And so that always stuck with me in that regard.
Thank
And then,
you.
of course, Sudanese. I believe that the Sudanese were either, the descendants of either the Israelites or the Nubians, that from the time of Moses and Pharaoh. Because as you know, that's right there. That's right there at the bottom of Egypt. It's a boat ride from Mecca. If you look at the map, you see the Mecca is right there on the edge of Arabia, and across whatever body of water that is Sudan. So there's a strong connection with Islam there, and like I said, I believe just because during the time of the Pharaoh, I'm sure they weren't living in North Egypt because that was the desert. So if you got money, if you run the country, run the whatever, you stand at the bottom at the Nile where it's lush gardens and Luxor and all that. And so that's all in that same area. So Allah knows best. But I did my research on just having Sudanese people here in this community telling me about the plight of Sudan. And I was just always fascinated with them, with the South Sudan and North Sudan, learning about them. And then when I went to Ethiopia, I met a lot of Sudanese refugees.
Absolutely.
I met a lot of Sudanese refugees that was in Addis Ababa. stand at. So I learned about that. That was my connection with them.
Thank you, Dee.
I
Thank
hope
you,
I didn't talk
Zul.
too long on that.
No,
My
no, that was actually amazing. Please, guys, flood the chat with the Sudanese flag, with the Palestinian flag. Man, the story is amazing. Everyone's telling me to save the time so we can clip that and we can share that with everyone. I'm gonna go next to because I know for the time we're almost at our cutoff time of 1 hour, so we'll keep it short with Sister Rima and then Brother Milio, inshallah, and we will wrap it up. Thank you for everybody that is requesting. Unfortunately, because of the time, we will try to cut it short as much as we can. Thank you, Brother Zol, for staying with us. So go ahead, Sister Rima.
Salaam alaikum, Brother Dulqarnain.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Brother, this is your sister Rima. I'm in the United States. I am from Gaza. My family is in Gaza. Wallahi, may Allah inshallah elevate you as you have elevated us, not only the people of Palestine. Listen, it was raining on the highway when I was driving. You were talking, and I can't see well at night. And I was tearing up when I heard you about the dua of the oppressed people, not only in Gaza but also in Sudan. Allah al-Azim, yani, the people, a few of my brothers in the comments and sisters from Gaza. I wish you, the comments are going really fast. People that I know that are on the ground, that are sleeping in the cold tonight, brother, wallahi, with no food and no water, no electricity, no heat, making dua for you, brother, and taking their time to come and thank you. The whole world saw it. Gaza saw it, Sudan saw it, everyone saw it. And wallahi, you know, with the time that you had, you know, you could have done anything. And you did that for us, and you put yourself in harm's way for us, brother. And wallahi, we are thankful. And inshallah, instead of one shafir, inshallah, you will have thousands and thousands of people that will make shafa'ah for you. Inshallah. I wanted to ask you questions for the audience in regards to, by the way, the Sudanese, did they put you on to that salad, brother, with the peanut butter and the spicy sauce in it?
No, I need that. I
No,
ain't get
no,
that
no.
yet.
Listen, if they didn't put you on that salad, you better tell them I want a Sudanese salad right now. It is delicious. And the Sudanese ta'miyya. Alhamdulillah. You, brother, wallahi, you have a whole family in Gaza waiting for you, wallahi. Really, there's not much to ask when I already know the answer. I guess the question to ask for those who are curious, because this is the first time we've had a voice, brother, for in a very, very long time. You know, people knew about, you know, Palestine, but they didn't know the way they know now. When you were in Palestine, colonized Palestine, did you experience, first of all, I know you just answered, that any racism from the people of that land, from the Palestinians?
Not at all.
Did you experience any racism from the Israelis?
But of course, besides sitting in the airport for 6 hours and then going through the the checkpoint, and I ain't gonna lie. I mean, if I don't know if you want to consider that racism, it might have been, is he Muslim? Because I've seen other black people walking through with no problem. You know what I'm saying? If your name John Smith, you got shorts on and a hat, they were, you know, you cool. But Zul Qarnain or Kwame Nantambu, American passport, so pull to the side, for sure. So, but not, and I really didn't hang with I didn't go to I didn't go to none of them places. I was in Jerusalem. and then I went visit Jericho. I didn't go to Tel Aviv. They was like, oh, you need to go to, like, the Jewish people were talking to me. They were cool. They were American with me. They wasn't, oh, black man, why are you over here? They're like, oh, you need to go to the beaches in Tel Aviv and catch the train here, and we got a party here. And I was like, I was right where I needed to be. I wanted to pray in Al Aqsa and hang there. And then, like I said, I got on, I don't even know how I got to Jericho. I think it was a bus. Then they had a bus. And then I think I had to, I don't know how I got back, because the bus stopped running and I was really stuck out there at night. And like, I think the power was off. I think the power went off. Don't the power go off at a certain time out there?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It was 2016, but I remember like, damn, I'm out here and I can't get back and I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of people over there, they wasn't speaking English, but it was small. Like, I don't remember how I got back, but I got back. I might have had to wait at the bus station till 5 a.m. or something. But I might have spent the night in the mosque. I don't know. But either or. Of course not. It was all love from the Palestinian people. And like I said, I really didn't interact with the Yahud or the Jewish people over there, but except for, like I said, when we did the checkpoint, I remember I wanted to go to Al Aqsa, and they asked me, that made me say the Fatiha to confirm that I was Muslim. That's what they did. The people at the gates coming in, the people with the guns, the police or the soldiers or whatever.
Yeah,
At
the
the,
soldiers
yeah, the
generally, yeah,
soldiers at
they
the
do
gates.
that.
Yeah, they asked me to say Al Fatiha. But other than that, like I said, being pulled to the side and sitting in the airport, but they was being sarcastic really the whole time, if anything, but nothing like, oh, you can't go here, you can't go there. Now they did ask me, okay, why do you want to go to the West Bank, or why do you want to go to Jericho, or what do it was always just a bunch of questions. That's what it was. It wasn't you can't. It was a bunch of questions and you had to wait it out. That's what I remember. And I forgot to say about Gaza. I did. I forgot. Astaghfirullah, forgive me. I learned not firsthand, but I learned about Gaza. I used to live in Canada, in Vancouver, in 2019, 2020, and when a lot of the Gaza stuff really started happening. And my mans was out there, my partner, a Muslim brother I met, because I was out there for 2 years. He was from Gaza. He was from North Gaza. His father had a business out there, like a textile business. So he gave me just like I said, the other guy broke down what happened in Jerusalem and the whole separation. He broke down everything about Gaza to me. And when it was really going down during the time of COVID, they was doing a lot about COVID. So he was during that time, he was breaking down to me the struggle and the plight of the Gazan and the suffering and the affliction that was going on. And stuff I really couldn't believe. Like, I don't know the nuances of the stories, but I remember when he was telling me stories, I was like, nah, you lying. They're not doing that. They're doing that. And I couldn't believe it. And so he was from Gaza. Well, he is from Gaza, but he lived in Vancouver. So, and his family was there. And then as stuff happened, and like, he was like, man, he sent me like, I lost my uncle, I lost this and this. This was over the years, but we always stayed in communication. And then when the bombing and all that really started happening, I remember they said Bob, his father's business in North Gaza. And he broke everything down to me. Like, he was telling me about the $5,000 to leave the Egyptian, to get off the Egyptian border. I'm like, what? The Egyptians charging people to get across the border? He was like, yeah, we trying to get my family out. We need this amount of money. He was telling me about, how the price gouge on everything. Like, I couldn't believe he was saying something like $100 for a bag of sugar or something. It was something crazy. Whatever it was like, I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, nah, you lying. I literally used to tell him that. And he was like, no, bro. And I couldn't believe it. So we was there together, and then continuing over the phone as the situation worsened. So that's when I really got an understanding of the Gaza plight. And I didn't want to forsake telling that story, because that's how I learned about that
Thank
struggle.
you.
Can I
Thank
ask one
you,
more
Rima.
question? Okay, I know we got to move on to Milio. Just one more question, and it's fast. Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
My question is after what you did at the Super Bowl, have people open their eyes and have they come to you with questions? And most of all, were you able to talk to Kendrick Lamar? Maybe he could drop an album about Gaza?
I
Answer that.
ain't see K Dot when K Dot left. I was in the holding cell, and then I was escorted promptly out of the Superdome, so I never bumped into him. You know what I mean?
Brother. Thank you, brother. All
And then
love.
when we were doing practice, they made
Thank
sure
you.
the background, whoever we were, whatever they classified us as the extras, not talk to talent. And I
Thank
didn't.
you. Thank you, Rima. Thank you, Brother Zul, for answering those questions. We have one more panelist, inshallah, and then we will wrap this up. Please show love to our brother Zul Qarnain. I hope you guys are all enjoying this, mashallah. We have such an amazing audience. Go ahead, Brother Emilio.
Can you guys hear me? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam wa
Alaikum
rahmatullahi
salam.
wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah, all praise be to Allah. This is a wonderful opportunity to speak to you, brother Zul Qarnain, as a black Muslim living in the UK and in
I hear that
France.
UK accent. Where you in London, huh?
Yeah, definitely. And just wanted to first start off by saying just that moment. I can tell you from all the black Muslim brothers that I know from France to the UK, they were just overwhelmed just to see that you had the courage that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put you in a place where you were going to be able to actually have an impact during what was a wonderful performance by Kada. And definitely I'd like to commend you for that. All praise be to Allah for giving you the courage to be able to do so. And I just wanted to say, as a black Muslim, I wanted to ask your thoughts on how the Palestinian, Sudanese, and Congolese oppression interconnects, and how can we show more solidarity within the movement?
As far as the Congolese, I just was with I met Juan Basaka. He's from the DRC. I have a transportation company down here in Miami. I drove him around for a week, so I got to be around him and his Congolese partners. And I know another Muslim brother that's from the Congo. And what I know about the plight of the Congo, of course, I learned about Leopold some years ago and what he did, and then I learned, of course, how they got him, mining in the cobalt and all these stuff. And I don't know the nuances and generals of it. I just know it's suffering, and I don't know who's inflicting the oppression. I know they're using their own people against their own people. That's what it seems like from what I see. Am I correct in that regard?
Yep.
Yeah, because it seems like, what I'm saying, warlords and people taking advantage of the oppressed. So what we need to do, what I believe, is somehow we need the tool, and that tool is Islam, that'll make us not love money so much. People, we shouldn't be, I don't think we're created with evil in nature, but I think the misinformation of the stuff we put in our brains, whether it's the music and the imagery and all that, and black is like the black dots on our heart. It makes our heart so black that we put money up here and we don't think about the Akron, we don't think about humanity, we don't think about the other person. They watch these people get their arms chopped off for so many years. It seems like they're desensitized to harming their own people. So I thank God for the leaders. Now, I don't know their names, but the leader from Burkina Faso, I hear what's going on in Mali, and I hope that sparks a revolution in leadership, but black people in Africa love black people in Africa, and put them above trying to hoard wealth, being abusive to them. Is that an
Thank you.
answer? Is
Thank you.
that a clear
Alhamdulillah.
answer for you?
Yeah, definitely, brother. I appreciate you for your time. Appreciate you for what you did. All praise be to Allah. And that will be all for me. That'll be all for me. But I
Thank you.
appreciate you.
And the
Thank you so
Congo
much,
needs
Sister Taz.
Islam in abundance, because I know
And I
what's
definitely,
the
yeah.
percentage. What's the percentage of Islam in the Congo
It's about
of Muslims?
50%.
Oh,
It's
it's
about
50%.
half. Yeah.
Yeah, they do what we just like everybody here too. We need to get on our deen. Deen is gonna save us, and that's gonna eradicate all that. Because if you say you're Muslim but you're not practicing it and you don't have it in your heart, you're gonna do all type of atrocious stuff to your people that look just like you.
Exactly. I agree.
Thank you,
Appreciate you,
Emilio.
brother.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
you.
much.
Thank you so much,
Um,
Taz.
Thank you so much, Brother Zulkarnain, for being with us today. I really, really appreciate you being here. It has been such an honor for you, for us to all hear you speak, for us to be with you. And I just wanted to say thank you again. Thank you to the panelists. Thank you to everybody being here. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart for joining us. And I just wanted to end with saying the most heroic word in all languages is revolution. Free Sudan, free Palestine, free Congo, free all oppressed people. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.